Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to OLC TV for some more Total War 3 Kingdoms, The Furious World, the new DLC. Thank you very much to CA for allowing me access to this early. Today with our faction preview series, we are having a look at the final new faction as part of this DLC, and that is Lady Zhurong, our final Nanman faction leader. So Lady Zhurong is the fictional wife of Meng Huo. Now, as I discussed earlier, we don't really know a huge amount about Meng Huo, even if that was his real name or not, if he was a real person, or if he is more being used as a conglomerate of real people who rose in rebellion against Zhuge Liang and the kingdom of Shuhan following Liu Bei's death. But for the purposes of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, she was Meng Huo's wife. She claimed descent from the goddess of fire, and that is played up in this game because she has some really unique she has a unique stance, she has a unique unit who are followers of the Flame Assault Infantry, and she has some quite cool mystical abilities that you can play on the campaign map as well, which we'll be looking at. So, she is of course the goddess of fire. She has this playstyle focused timed expansion, which we will look at in-game. She has the cycles of expansion, so the world and nature work together in a cyclical system, as Lady Zhurong does with war. She spends much time planning, preparing, and gathering her strength before launching into battle with Wildfire. During this time, she is essentially unbeatable on the battlefield. Yet once her fire has died out, she is vulnerable and must recover her strength before the cycle begins anew. This is part of her Goddess of Fire mystical abilities, which we will look at. She has the powers of the Fire God, which allows her to do these sometimes incredible things with her forces, her armies, and everything else. She has a unique chanting stance, fire army stance. So as they march, Lady Zhurong and her warriors constantly chant to the fire god, Jurong, and prepare themselves for coming battle. This constant state of readiness inspires morale, but causes them to consume their supplies at a fast rate. They're basically feasting and celebrating and worshipping the fire god as they march. And she can research military reforms faster because she is deeply committed to martial development. She, of course, is a trailblazer, which means she has increased movement range, she has increased military supplies, and she has oil, because, of course, she can start fires. She has Failty of the Fire People, so every Nanman faction has its own Failty, and as you confederate them or vassalize them, you gain their Failty powers. She has Tiger Slingers, which are like Slingers, but with something useful in amongst them that can kill stuff. They're actually really good. She has Tiger Warriors, which are just, melee crazy. And of course, she has the Followers of the Flame, which are fire-wielding maced units. They are quite cool. On the character front, she is intimidating. Of course she is. She just has fire everywhere. That's quite intimidating, especially in a jungle. And she's immune to scaring because that she is of course fiery, as you might expect, and she's very brave. She is Natman as well. She has a plus 10% chance of capturing enemy officers and plus 10% melee damage. Her background is Lady Zhurong believes that only through her might, inherited they say from the goddess of fire herself, will her people succeed where others have floundered. The pride of her lineage weighs heavily upon her, but Jurong does not let such responsibilities overwhelm her. She sees the languorous and bloated valley kings and vows not to grow as indolent. Her followers, loyal to the death, combined with her own skill, will protect her lands and her people against the very gods, if need be. Now, that's quite impressive. Let's have a look at her on the map. So she starts off way, way, way down in the southwest corner of China. Well, not China, of course, at this stage, but down on the southwest corner of the map. And she doesn't really have the same threats surrounding her that some of the other factions do in the same way. And we'll see how that plays out in the game so far. Now, if you're going to start in the 194 start date, she has a chunk of extra land and she has more of a threat nearby. She is always relatively close to Meng Huo, and of course her and Meng Huo have a special unique ability whereby if they are on the same field at the same time as allies, they get this huge bonus for themselves, which is fantastic. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into it.
所有会祝融夫人，天下将乱，而部族似乎安于隔岸观火。必须将大汉驱逐出你的土地，但势必要让部族团结起来。其他的族长对此渴望已久。 不能再无所作为了，您必须于无为之地行动起来。先从云南部落开始，夺取他们的土地将为您的扩张之路提供巨大的便利。有些部落首领会见势加入，而有些可能需要使用一些武力来说服。如孟获这般有勇有谋之人，可为劲敌，亦可为强力的盟友。您与他不为友，便为敌。祝融夫人，部族统一之路不易，然您身负火神意志，所有部族必将团结在您炽热的火焰之下。
Okay, so here we are. Thank you very much, advisor. We are the queen of the Nanman. Jurong, you are thrust onto a stage not of your making, yet you must make it your own all the same. The world is in chaos, and your contemporaries, for the most part, are content to do nothing. If the tribes are to be united and power restored to these parts, then let it be your power. You are descendant of gods, Jurong. Now it is time to ascend. We must unite the tribes under a single banner, same as all. Monghua could be a powerful friend or most terrifying enemy. Again, Lady Zhurong and Monghua have a sort of idea to either try and work together or just destroy them. And time your expansion with active wildfire seasons to maximize your offensive power. We'll have a look at that in a second. The ambitious leader takes the first steps. So baby's first battle, as always, we have a tribe to crush, and that is the Yunnan tribe there in Qingling. So first of all, we have a book of songs and we have strategies of the warring states. Very interesting. We'll have a quick look at her faction right now. So here, Lady Zhurong. Nanman upgrades are different from generic officer upgrades, even unique officer, but are different from Han officer upgrades in that they have this skill tree here. So every time you level up, you can put points into this, and this will give you plus 10 expertise, plus 20 expertise, plus 30 expertise, etc. as you go up. But you can see that's just points into this bar here. If you want stuff like melee evasion increase, or discipline for your retinue, you have to unlock these in personal goals. So, for example, this one, if you win 10 defensive battles, you'll get disciplined for your own retinue. If you kill 300 people, you'll get plus 10% melee armor piercing for your self, I believe, in this case, rather than your army itself. And so all of these are personal goals, and they will unlock the extra stats for you. Now, Lady Jurong has just a generic decent spear, her own unique armor, a crap horse. As far as followers go, we don't have anything here, and she has these throwing knives because she has a skill where she can use them. Her heir is Dalai Dongju. Dongju. What would we have for you? Guerrilla deployment is not bad, as is morale. Guerrilla deployment, I think, for him because he has high cunning here. And then Sherbor. You're just not very good. Here, you can have that. That'll do, and we'll save the other one for something later. Now, before we get into fighting, we're just going to have a quick look at the reform tree here. So this is the Nanman reform tree. The Nanman reforms, the first thing we have to do is elephant taming. Okay, for all the factions we get elephant taming, even Mulu, who starts with an elephant. And we will get an elephant which can be equipped as a mount afterwards. And the elephants are really powerful. But you do lose the ability to duel or dismount, or your officer's unique abilities as well. You have to use elephant abilities. After you've done that, you have all of these things to research from. Now, they're also unlocked by completing missions, and then some of them, like these, are dependent on whether or not you wish to go for a more Nanman feel or a more Han Chinese feel. So square is Han Chinese feel, and you will get access to a whole load of Han tactics. But you will lose access to Tribal Zeal, which is a Nanman military reform. And then if you choose Tribal Zeal, you will lose access to the Han tactical reform. So you can flavor how you want to do your campaigns any way you want, but you have to understand that if you start to go down the Han path, then you start to lose access to a lot of the Nanman things. If you go down the Nanman path, you lose access to a lot of the Han things. There's also this symbol here on a lot of the reforms. Now this means you can only access it after you've united all the tribes. Okay. With that said, we're going to have a quick look at her Goddess of Fire. So this is her Goddess of Fire ability. The powers of the fire god Jurong lie within you. How much of your power is regained over the seasons and wildfire effects are shown below. So right now we have the Wildfire Harvest. So we have +3 Goddess of Fire gain for the season, +75 melee armor piercing damage, melee +75 melee damage, -50 melee evasion, 15 income from all sources, and whilst it's active, Goddess of Fire always decreases by -4 per turn. We of course must fill out the bar before we can access it. And then this, of course, depends, it correlates to what season we're in. So this is Harvest. Next turn it'll go to Autumn, so it'll be accessed by this. But we have to fill this out. And as you fill it out, you do get improved bonuses too. So maybe you don't want to ignite it all the time. Maybe you want to store it and wait until you're in a battle to then use it. Because, of course, you'll still get the -4 morale for defending enemy units. And then, of course, you get... you get a whole load of different bonuses depending which season it is. Harvest, you can see you have a reduction in melee evasion, which you may not want because it means you're going to suffer more casualties, so maybe this isn't the best time to fight with this active. But if you wait until Autumn, you get charge bonus, construction cost reduction, melee armor piercing, and crippling blow. Were you to wait for Summer, you have battle running speed, public order, and a huge amount of bonuses. So everything changes depending on the season, which makes it really quite cool. And you pick your time to fight based on this if you want maximum effect from it. Of course, if you don't want to wait for it, you can still fight as well. Here we have the tribal Failties. Now, we of course are Lady Zhurong, our faction is always in the middle, and we get all of these bonuses. So plus 10% prestige, 1 available army, 10% research rate, more tribal council positions, followers of the flame, Tiger Warriors, Tiger Slingers, but a reduction in relations with the Han Empire. Now, the more tribes we unite, the greater our penalties in dealing with the Han Empire. So, for example, the Yunnan Tribes are our first mission. If we defeat them, we will get access to fire archers, which is cool. We'll get an increased research rate, we'll get increased prestige for Failties, but we'll get another -5 diplomatic relations with Han. Were we to then go and take out, for example, Shamor Kur, who's one of the big boys, will get plus 10% prestige, another available army, more research rate, plus 10% research rate, more tribal positions, and then his unique units, the Might of the Valley, the Wuling Fighters, and the Wuling Slingers. Where we take out Meng Huo, we'd get increased Nanzhong Elephants, Nanzhong Spearmen, Nanzhong Champions, as well as more tribal council positions, more research rate, and more armies and Failties. So everything you do here will build up and make you much stronger over time at the cost of damaging your relations with Han. Because Han, of course, will be afraid with a growing barbarian power to their southwest. Our court, we always have a tribal council position open here, who we can throw anyone into it. I have no need to throw anyone, I believe, into this faction at all. We should get Dalai Dongju married off to Shebo, I think, but not right now because it'll cost money. Now, if we're going to look at Yunnan, for example, here, I don't know if we can, yeah, there we go, that's a little bit better, we're not blocked by the mountains. You can see that this layout has changed. Now, ignore the fact that this is now sort of Nanman specific artwork. We have a couple of things that are different. Number one, here before it would say underneath underneath Yunnan, it would say what type of settlement this is. Now it gives the name of the largest city within this settlement region. So the city, of course, is called Longdong, which means you have to look over here to the symbol to see what it is. So this one, of course, is a faction settlement capital, whilst this is an iron mine, for example. Then we have all the standard stuff here, but then we have this elephant head here. This means it's Nanman lands. So we get a -20% construction cost and -1 construction time for the local county. And of course it's dense jungle, so non-Nanman get affected massively in this area, negatively of course, with fatigue, with reduction in movement range, reduction in supplies, but the Nanman have increased ambush chance, increased ability to avoid ambush, and increased movement range, which is really quite cool. Okay, now if we're going to look at Shebo and assignments, many of these assignments are reliant on you doing a reform, but what we do get as Jurong is the Trailblazer, which isn't necessarily available to everyone. Okay, so she is slightly different on this respect. Everybody already gets the counter-espionage. Now, let's have a look here. What do we make for money? We just have generic population. This is income from all sources. Once we take that out, that's industry. That's an iron mine. Were we to get this, we get income from industry and reduction in construction time. That seems to work quite nicely. Or we could increase and get some commerce in there as well. I think we can do the commerce a little bit later. We definitely need food later on, but we can do all that in time. Now, let's have a look at Lady Zhurong's army. So, Jurong has her followers of the flame, 2 units of them. These guys are really impressive. Assault, covered in flames, deal lots and lots of damage. They're a lot of fun. This is followed up by some generic Man warriors and some generic Man spearmen. They're solid if uninspired. Dalai Dongju, the cunning youth, her heir, has some generics as well, but he also has the Tiger Slingers. The Tiger Slingers are these cool slingers who can release the tigers. You lose control of the tigers after you release them, but they do a lot of damage, and it gives your slingers a lot of melee bite. They are, of course, however, a smaller unit. We have to go clear out the Yunnan Tribes, so let's go mess them up. Wultse Libeng. Close victory, because he's reinforced by all of these guys here. They're just generic slingers, generic spearmen, and a Man warriors. Captain shouldn't be a problem. I will see you in the battle. Okay, here we are. So, we've got our units here. We've got guerrilla deployment for this boy, which could be quite interesting in this battle, actually. Let's take his units. I think we're going to shove them over here. And then we've got Jurong's units here. Now, the followers of the flame I'm going to have behind the generic units, just for a level of protection. Jurong in the front. Let's have a look at Jurong herself. Here she is. So, really quite impressive artwork. I do enjoy the new Naman guys. They look really, really cool there with her really awesome feather crown. Here we have the generic Naman warriors. They're not overly special in any way. And here are the generic Naman spearmen with their bamboo poles. And then behind, look at these guys. They're so cool with their flaming maces. I mean, the level of realism drops a little bit, and it's a little bit Warhammer-y for having those guys around, I have to say, but the unit variety is a good thing, I think, personally. Here we have our slingers, and you can see they've got their tigers with them. Again, a little bit Warhammer-y. I'm not sure on the effectiveness or the realism of being able to field so many tigers tamely not doing much, but hey. And then our boy here. Look at him with his own flaming weapon, the burning mace. So yeah, quite cool. Quite cool. Let's start the battle. Where's our unit? Down here. Excellent. Just going to advance straight up, because we don't know where the hell they are. You boys can shift over here. So we know he's got some reinforcements coming in from this side. Lady Zhurong as well, I should have said before. So she has this miasma, which in a forest gives her increased speed, range attack rate, morale, melee attack rate. She also has the power of love, which works in with Monghor's own one. And she has flying daggers, which are quite brutal. Sort of poison missile type thing. 20k damage over 15 seconds, which is quite nice. Okay, so she's shifting up there. These boys are going to be in position here. I think, can we just ride round ever so quickly, and that's fine, they can be seen. Pop flying dagger at our man here. You need to have much closer range than, obviously, like a poison arrow or something else like that, because she's chucking it. She's not. There we go. Oh, yes, she got him. That's 20k damage over 15 seconds. So he's just going to take down. He, of course, doesn't want a duel anyway, which is why, I mean, I'd do that before a duel too, but, you know. Right, you boys, up you come, up you come. See how much damage it's doing. And then we don't have that much of a cooldown either. Not that much of a cooldown. It's quite brilliant. Our man here has a Southern Wrath, which is 4.5 splash damage and negative morale. Good. Got him. Off we go. And you in here. You get involved. Let's have a little bit of a splash. Slingers. I'm going to shift some slingers over here. I think you boys can start attacking here. You get in here. You guys are still a little bit far away. I shouldn't have engaged so early, but it's fine. Jurong, get involved. And you can see we have the option to unleash the tigers, which is something I am sorely tempted to do, actually. Followers of the flame, if you guys don't mind, come here. You can see they're starting to break really quickly because we've killed their leader. The Naman are a tiny bit... yeah, the tigers have been unleashed. You guys unleash some tigers too. The Naman are a little bit like the yellow turbans in that respect. They do just run quickly when stuff is going against them. So bear that in mind when you're playing as them. They're not the world's greatest, to be honest, but they can be. It just takes a little bit of time and effort to do the upgrades and everything else they need to become outstanding. There's only that unit left standing. You boys keep chasing. You boys, keep chasing over here. You haven't seen the tigers at work, which is a bit of a shame. I was paying attention to moving the troops around. You see the tigers here? You can't call the tigers back. They will just attack, as far as I know. I don't even think the slingers, if you position them nearby, will be able to sort of control them after this. I think they're pretty much a one-shot weapon, which is okay. You know, it's not a problem. They're super powerful. They are super powerful. Here are our flaming warriors. They've done their job. It's just these guys left here, right? So let's go mess them up. You boys, see, there they go. The tigers are just rushing off to pick a fight, ripping into this unit here. You do lose a fair few of them when they're fighting, but they are unbreakable, which is quite nice. And even though they're outnumbered, they are going to shred these guys. They are going to absolutely shred them. He doesn't stand a chance. We're going to rush off here, pick a fight here. You boys, yeah, deal with those slingers. You boys can deal with those slingers too. Oh, do you know what? Everybody chase. Just make sure they don't come back. I think we should have won this now. Thank you very much. Good. Easy, really. Very, very easy. Yeah, we lost a few tigers. Not sure we lost a huge amount on the old men front, but we definitely lost a few tigers. And these guys got a couple of hundred kills between them, which isn't bad. That'll help towards the butcher. We need to get 300 for them personally, rather than across the whole army. So it'll take some time. I'm just going to take the money. We don't really need the replenishment for 54 dead. Yunnan Tribes have legged it, but that's fine. We're just going to rock up in here. This is a decisive victory. I am going to delegate it, even though I have delegated before on one of these and almost lost an entire bloody army doing so. But I think we should be safe with this first round. 167, that's quite a lot of dead. And we got a stone axe. And here are the options. Excuse me. When you destroy a tribe, you can do the standard occupy, loot and occupy, or sack and withdraw. Or you can vassalize or confederate. Now, if you vassalize, this faction will be left alive, becoming a vassal, paying you tribute, and aiding you in war, and you will still get the fealties, and you want the fealties. However, if you confederate, they become part of your faction. The ruling family members will join your tribe. Everyone else will become like an officer in the recruitment pool for all the other Naman factions. It may be seen as an act of treachery, and you gain the fealties. Now, this one is not going to be seen as an act of treachery. We will take it, and now we have all of these benefits here. We have fire archers. How wonderful is that? We got an extra 2,000 as well. We confederated them. Yunnan Tribes have confederated. Tag team. The Anhuainan have long been belligerent, never learning their place or knowing their limits. Now they choose to provoke you, Lady Zhurong, despite your lack of interest in their ways. Yet Monghua has shown a desire to absorb their land. Perhaps you should enlist his aid in defeating them. Both sides could gain from such an arrangement. So this is effectively a story mission. Monghua has the same. You can battle the Anhuainan with Lady Zhurong. I suggest doing it just because you want to get close to and confederate Monghua as fast as possible. You can, of course, just declare war on Monghua and take him over that way as well. That will work just as well. Now, man, expand their reach. We need 2 more settlements. We have declared war. The Failties of the Yunnan, of course. Fantastic. As far as ancillaries game, we've just got that stone axe with occupation. And it's all looking very nice. So we've taken this. There is Anhuainan over here. And there's Mangyachan here with Yueshi, which is a place we want as well. So bear that in mind. We will need to go to war or absorb him eventually. But first of all, we're at war with Anhuainan, which shouldn't be too bad. See as well, the leader of the Yunnan Tribes, Wuzali Bing. You don't want to kill off the tribal leaders in battle half the time because they will join your faction. So this guy is going to come and join us. We can give him this, even though he sucks. He's not great. But because he's already been fighting, he has some of these. So he fought a siege battle, so he gets, if we fight 10 of them with him in the armies, we get 15% campaign movement range. Because he's fought alongside reinforcements, he'll get encouraged if he does it a couple more times. So it all builds up. And some of these guys will come as well with a grudge against you. Bear that in mind. It depends on how your relationship has been previously. Now, I think, having a look at this, we can't recruit anything yet, but next turn we are going to want to start to recruit as we advance into Jianing. So let's move into the next turn. Over here on this side of the map, we are mostly concerned with the Nanman, and that's your gameplay with these guys. The likes of Mulu and the likes of Shamokwa, they're much nearer the Han factions, so they have to think about their relationship with the Han much earlier on. Jurong and Monghua are different. They don't have to. You can just piss the Han off, because by the time you come into contact with the Han, with them on your borders, you are in a position to have a lot of armies and to fight a decent battle against them. Now, we're getting ready to attack here. This is Menghuo's army under Meng Jie. Menghua actually is sort of up here somewhere fighting his own battle. He'll come down very shortly, I'm sure. Now, fire archers. We can bring in some fire archers. I don't want the tiger warriors for this guy. We'll bring in some fire archers. That'll fill them out there. I don't think we need any more troops. I'm not going to bring out Wuzalibeng or Shebo. But what we could do, the tribal council here does give trade influence, reduction in corruption, all the rest. I don't think they're high enough level to warrant that. Have a look at the diplomacy. What we could do is Young Feng. Yes. We'll work with Young Feng here. Propose a deal. He can't pay me that. He might be able to pay me some solid cash up front though. Just because we're there and we could do with some money. That's close enough. Not going to overly worry about it. So with that, non-aggression pact as well. Maya Feng, we could do it with him. I don't think we need to. We'll just leave it as is. That's brought me in a little bit of extra money. This could then potentially be paid for. That's an extra 200. Now, I'm just going to wait. Even though the trade influence and everything else does make a difference, it's not going to be enough to pay for it. We'll take out some of Anhuainan's territory first. Then we'll worry about increasing our tribal council. Of course, we can as well. What you can do, if you want to be a little bit more... Mongol coming south now. What you can do, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive about it, is have a look and see who's nearby. We have the Anhuainan, which will give me recruitment reduction cost for Nanmen units, which is really, really nice. But we also have Mayachang, who has range block chance. and Young Feng. Where's Young Feng? Young Feng here. He's one of the big boys. So here you can get javelin spear guards, javelin spearmen, javelin throwers, and increase tribal council. So you can have a look and actually pick who you want to take out first, rather than just by following the missions, if you so choose. Right, let's move into this territory. This shouldn't be a fight either. No, it isn't. Take it. Straightforward. Done. Just occupy, because we haven't defeated the entire faction. So once we've taken out here in Shuyun, Jiangning, that's when we get the option to confederate, okay? Here we have a battle axe. That is quite the option. Now, here's our first example of a level up. So Dalai Dongju has leveled up, and we can see that he has quite high cunning. He's also my archer general. So we're going to throw it into this. He has already almost reached Butcher, so we'll get melee armor piercing damage for himself, which isn't bad at all. Now, here, who is better? Seemful, scholarly, spiteful. Probably not. Yeah, we'll give it to you. There we go. So she can be a sort of champion-esque type character. We've got some spare money too, so we could upgrade this. It's a lot of money, but you know, it should help. And yeah, we're in a solid position now, just to keep marching across. We'll see if we can take this out before Meng Huo does, because of course, if Meng Huo takes it out, then we don't get to confederate the tribes, which doesn't work in our favor. And it's just a straight road. Here he comes. Here's An Huinan's armies. I should say the An Huinan tribal armies. Declawing the tiger, Sun Jian is dead. So of course, remember that there is the rest of China knocking about as well at this time, doing their thing. So the An Huinan armies, were we to look at them, it's relatively large. That's An Huinan, Marshal of the Third Cave. So when you see this, Marshal of the Third Cave, so in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Meng Huo seeks alliances with tribal leaders in different caves, like their home territories. They're living in these caves. And so An Huinan is the third cave. After he's been captured twice, he seeks out an alliance with An Huinan. And then, of course, they're beaten and he's captured again, because that's what happens to Meng Huo. Anyway, they're in position. What we could do, I believe, is set up here, and we'll set up an ambush just to be prepared for them. I don't see the point in recruiting any new troops. We're almost full here, almost full, and that would mean we get the summer, where we get the battle speed, melee damage, and everything else. Could be quite interesting to try that out. Let's go on. See if we can ambush this fool. Hopefully we'll be able to. That'll just make life easier than fighting him in a straight fight. Meng Jie is alright, actually. He's alright, but no, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid. I don't want to do that. I actually want to marry you. So, here we go. It succeeded as well. It's very difficult to succeed in ambushing these Nanman factions, I have found. Right, let's fight this. Because it says a close victory and medium casualties. And last time I had that against me on the auto resolve, I seriously lost an entire army. Yeah, I did win the battle, but I lost the army. It was terrifying. Fortunately, it was just a preview, and I was only doing it because I was running out of time and I wanted to show an event at the end, but my god, that was terrifying. So yeah, the casualty losses seem to be much greater as the Nanman than they are as the Han. Now we've got our flaming warriors and everything else here. Our fire archers, of course, consider the back. This is what they look like. They are, you know, just archers, really. Similar sort of get-up as the spearmen, but they got bows instead. Our boy here, Dalai Dongju, can come straight. We'll have some spears over here. I have some spears here. Axes there. That's quite nice. Now my warriors axes over here. We're gonna have Lady Zhurong go straight for him. I don't know why he's such a threat. I mean, I sort of do, because he's got, you know, a decent weapon, but still, I think that's a little bit over the top. Right, Fire Warriors coming in here, Fire Warriors coming in there. That should be quite effective. I don't want you guys running away. I actually want you to release the hounds, as it were, pretty much straight away. Are you guys on? That's really annoying. Yeah, ambush. Sometimes they don't fire at will. Charge, charge, take guard off. Charge, 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 accept, charge. You boys advance forward. You down here. Come over here. Come over here. Release them. Release. Boom! Look at that destruction there. That's what these guys are so good at. They want to attack, they can try. The Tigers just rip into their front ranks. So, fire archers. Fire archers do shoot fire arrows, as you can guess from this. But of course we are in a forest, which, you know, does provide some problems if we are going to be shooting fire arrows at everything. You boys. Chase, I think. Just chase. These guys are running away. These guys can chase there. You boys on here. You stop mucking about. Get into that fight. Archer, archer, archer. You're ripping them to shreds. Chase. Chase. Just make sure they don't come back. The Tigers should deal with them. You guys can come over here. You can also chase them. You guys are good. Yeah. Oh no, you're still running. That's a shame. You've dealt a blow. Fantastic. Do you know what? Go chase. Now, I did say that you don't really want to kill these people. He may die because of this duel, but he's just a random Shenju, so it's not that much of a fuss. She is going to rip his face off. This is game over. Boom. We should be good now. Thank you. Decisive victory. Not a close victory. It was never going to be anything but decisive. The Tigers, just because they caused scare and everything else, and you could see they charged with their axes. You release them at the last minute. It destroys the momentum of their charge, rips into their lines, and the rear charge from my other units just caused them to fail completely. Here we go. That's the army gone. There we go. No, fortunately he's not dead, so that may work in our favour. Shenju, we can in fact employ him. He has quite a nice... No, he doesn't. He has a crapstone act. He's indecisive, he's temperamental, he's scarred. Yeah, he sounds perfect. Come in. We are going to take the recruitment this time. Right. Goddess of Fire, having successfully bided your time, waiting and preparing for this moment, you are now ready. Your supplies are plentiful, your men poised for the coming battle, and your skills have been honed and sharpened to a razor's edge. Soon all of China will bow in obedience to you. To activate Wildfire this season, press the Wildfire button next to the Goddess of Fire icon in the faction panel. So, now we have it. If we don't do it, our commander's satisfaction will start to reduce. You have to bear that in mind. Because it's there, you gotta do it. She, of course, is Instinct. I feel we should keep smashing up the Instinct a little bit for her. Now, we want to finish him off and then advance to Jiangning. So let's go quickly finish him off. We're just going to start this. And boom. Good. Finished, please. We got the twin. We're going to get some more replenishment. Twin stone axes, which are not all that good. And then we're going to advance over here. What we need to do now is decide, do we want to do this or do we want to wait for the next one? This one, I think we just ignite it now. So having reignited your inner flame, you can now descend upon your enemies with a wild fury unmatched. Wildfire. Several seasons, your strength in battle will be overwhelming. Once this period is over, however, your fire will go out and you will become vulnerable to counterattacks. It can last a maximum of 5 turns, but the penalties begin to stack the longer it runs, and it'll be activated or deactivated by pressing the wildfire button. So you can deactivate it by clicking up here, which is okay. Now, we're starting to get a little bit more money in. I think we could potentially bring our... Man, who do we want? I think we can bring you into this army. And I don't think I have enough money. I wanted to show these guys off. So, were I to... Do you know what? Minus 63. Okay, we're not playing this for a campaign. We're just having a look at it. So, that should be fine. We're going to bring them in. Just so we can see them. And whilst we attack Jianing Xuyun. There. Alright, next turn. So as a faction, she can be super aggressive, but when this fire runs out, and unfortunately we don't have time to see it in detail, you do get, you lose a huge, no, piss off. You lose a huge amount of bonuses, and it does come back to bite you in using it. You do need the time to replenish, and you are vulnerable to counterattacks. So you have to sort of destroy your enemies in that time. Okay, enemy secrets, defeat them, your enemies closer. Okay, we've got a lot of things here. We've got elephant taming. Fantastic. I will show that in a second too. See here, our ancillary is a war elephant. So, she can have the elephant just as an example. We'll have a look at what she can do. This army is going to ride straight into Xuyun. And we're going to fight this just so we can see all the cool new toys. So, this, of course, we are sieging a place, so we get this cool little siege map. If it's a Han settlement, of course, it's still Han artwork, but if it's a Nanman settlement, as denoted by the little elephant thing, you do get some cool new settlement artwork as well. That you can fight through. It's designed for the region. It's not the standard Han buildings, which is quite fun. But this is a little bit generic-y, unfortunately. Yeah, the towns have the best example. Okay. Let's set up here. Just pull them out so we can have a quick look. So these are the Tiger Warriors. And as you can see, they are basically some hard men here with a club and a stone axe, with tigers with what can only be described as saddles, decorative saddles on their backs, which of course you don't ride them, they just go nuts and rip into the troops, which is quite nice. Then where is our girl? Yes, here she is, Shabo. So she is riding an elephant, as you can see, quite cool elephant here, and she has the trumpet. So as she levels up and everything else, the elephant will get extra things like gore, like stomp. The gore is just brutal. It's an incredible amount of damage. And elephants, just by walking through units, destroy stuff, which are quite fun. Now, you boys, if you don't mind, we need you to advance, because I want that down, please. I'm just going to speed this up a touch. What I am going to do is suggest 2, 3, you guys advance up here. Right, here we go. Fire arrows. So, of course, fire and fire. Destroy everything. The wall is just going to spread, so hopefully we're going to do a massive amount of damage. That's all burnt to a crisp. Now let's get rid of these Nanman Slingers, if you don't mind. You chaps can now advance because there's no threat. Oop. Chaps, if you want to form up here, that would be lovely. And then all of you guys can advance. Elephant ready, you and you ready. So all the fire in the world doing amazing things for me. Absolutely amazing things. You know what, let's take this down just because we can. Gives us a flanking option if we need it. Come on. There we go, that's down. Let's take this one down as well. So if we just burn all this stuff down, that means we can flank. See all the people running from the settlement because the fire is spreading. All of them running away, running for the hills. Come on, bring that down. Stop cocking about. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Alright, that's going up. Okay, boys, flame on. Elephant Mistress, go nuts. What I also want as well are you guys. You are my assault troops. Prepare yourselves. You as well. Let's go nuts. So she's going to smash in there. Bosh, look at that damage. Now she's going to get bogged down. She's going to get completely bogged down if she stays in there on her own. And that's where the elephants will fail. But it doesn't matter too much because we have reinforcements coming in here. She is on her thing. The trumpet, that's like a roar of the beast maneuver. That's going to cause them to wobble. My archers can start to rain into their slingers. These guys are going to run because, you know, fire and fire have arrived. Charge forward, charge forward. I think you two guys as well, get in here, just so you can have fun. Let's bring in the Tiger Warriors, I think. And do you know what? Tiger Slingers too. Up you come. Up you come. Turn that off. Where are my Tiger Warriors? Here they are. Here they are. Good. I want you over here, please, lads. Look at how quickly we're just ripping through these guys. Oh, it's too much. It's too much. Where are you? Here you are. Right, you kill them. Lady Zhurong, you kill them. You, my lady, swing over here. You guys rip into them. Tigers, go, 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 go. Charge, charge, charge. So this is slightly different from the other ones because the whole unit can attack, whilst the slingers, they sort of stand back and watch. We've sent them running because we've got scare. Alright, you can rush over here now. Let's deal with them. I think we will find that these guys are over with just a handful of our units being used. Charge, charge, charge. Focus on. Come on. Punch through. Let's get it done. Fire arrows, you can form up here. Slingers, you can form up here. You, my man, can come over here too. This should be game over super, super quickly. In we go, Tiger Warriors. Rip them apart. Yep, done. Dealt with. Effective. Claim victory. Okay, so you saw how effective fire was, the elephant was, and the tigers were. She is quite powerful, as you can see, and then with that wildfire as well, that of course made things look, frankly, very easy. It shouldn't be that easy normally, but with wildfire, it is. She's really powerful. We got some crap weapons. We got some more crap weapons, and we're going to confederate. Boom, done. Now man expand their reach. So we have confederated An Huainan, and we are now a chieftain. So unfailing aim. As they flee, one of the ragged remnants of a defeated force turns in the last desperate attempt takes aim with a lance, aiming straight at Lady Zhurong. Yet before he can reach the apex of his throw, his arm is seized by the swift stab of a dagger. He falls from his steed, crying out in pain as Lady Zhurong retrieves her dagger from his body. She muses on the price of this foolhardy warrior will fetch for his release. Fealty of An Huainan. And the tribes united under a single banner. We need to get them all. Character developments, ancillaries gained. Okay. So, this now means we have gone up to Chieftain. The next one is Lady of the Valley, Queen of the Nanman, blah, 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 blah. Up to the Nanman Kingdom. Only Shamokha is different. He can choose to be Emperor as well. All the rest of the Nanman are just the King of the Nanman, or the Nanman Kingdom, as it were. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I'm going to leave it for now. As you can see, we now have Mulu on our borders here, who isn't particularly happy with us. We have Monghua, who is unhappy we've confederated enemies that he wants to confederate. And we have a decision to make, whether or not we go and smash him up and take off all of his lands, which would be quite fun. Definitely want Manyachang as well. Yongchang Yang Feng we want to take out as well, just to give us whole control. But that is for a campaign, and this is only a preview. I really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you for the next preview. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye.